So what exactly is happening between US and Iran right now? And why are both countries giving completely different statements about the same meeting that is scheduled to happen today in Doha? If you remember, on June 17, after weeks of tension and military clashes, the US and Iran agreed to a framework deal. This was supposed to first major step toward ending a conflict that had already shaken the entire Middle East and disrupt oil shipment through Strait of Hormuz. Now, under the framework, both sides gave themselves 60 days to negotiate on same sensitive issues like Iran nuclear program, sanctions relief, and most importantly, the future status of Hormuz. At that point, it looked like diplomacy was finally getting a chance. But then things start going wrong. A cargo ship near Oman, just outside the Strait of Hormuz, come under attack. The US blamed Iran and responded with military strikes. Iran then retaliated by targeting US military base in Kuwait and Bahrain. And then suddenly the entire ceasefire looked as if it could collapse. And just when everyone thought diplomacy was dead, Donald Trump made a surprisingly announcement. Trump posted on social media saying Iran has requested a meeting. It will take place tomorrow in Doha. According to the White House, US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner could travel to Qatar to continue negotiations. Now, all of this looks simple and straightforward, right? Well, not really. Within hours, Iran publicly denied Trump's claim. Iranian foreign minister said there would no negotiation meetings with American in the upcoming days. According to Tehran, the American delegation traveling to Qatar had nothing to do with Iranian delegation. Now, this is where things become interesting. Iran also confirmed that they are sending officials to Doha. So naturally, everyone started asking if Iran is doing to Doha and the American are also going to Doha, then what exactly is happening? The answer lies somewhere between diplomacy and domestic politics. Iran says its delegation is only going there to discuss the implementation of already existing memorandum of understanding, not to start fresh negotiations with Washington. In other words, Iran is basically saying, yes, we are going to Doha, but we are not officially talking to Americans. Now that sounds confusing, right? This is called Middle East diplomacy. This is a very similar to those family disputes where two relatives refuse to talk directly, but both sit in the same room while a third person keeps carrying messages back and forth. In this case, Qatar is playing that role. Now, if you notice statements coming from Iranian officials inside Iran, they have sounded much tougher and more hardline, while the comments made by the same Iranian officials when they are outside Iran, they have been comparatively softer. Now, this suggests that even within the Iranian leadership, there is still uncertainty about how much compromise they are willing to make. And this brings us to bigger picture. Technically, both sides are still committing to ceasefire frameworks. Both countries are interpreting the agreement differently. For Iran, the Strait of Hormuz remain its biggest bargaining chip. For the US, keeping that vital oil routes open is a strategic necessity. Meanwhile, Trump has warned that if Iran launch fresh attacks, the consequence could be devastating for Islamic Republic. So right now, diplomacy and military confrontations are moving side by side. Missiles are still flying, tensions remain high, and yet both sides are still leaving the door open for talks. Now the big question is why both sides are giving contradictory statements. See, when we look at Trump's, he is overstating when he said Iran requested the meeting. He usually does this. We have seen it many times. For him, it is domestic optics. Trump need to look like he's winning, saying Iran came to us is far stronger politically than we are still trying to get them to talk. Then it is pressure tactic. By publicly announcing a meeting that Iran has no confirm, he forced Iran into a corner. If Iran shows up, Trump's win. If Iran doesn't show up, Iran look like one who is baking and blocking the peace. Then it is a market management. Oil prices have already dropped significantly since the ceasefire. Trump needs stock to appear on track to keep market calm. And then there is the Kushner angle. Jared Kushner involvement suggests that this is a partially about deal making optics, not just diplomacy. They want a win to announce. Now, on the other side, if you look at Iran, why are they downplaying it while denying direct talks? Because there is a hardliner pressure at home. Iran's government is deeply split. Supreme leader Khamenei is a hardline. Would see sitting down with America as a humiliation. So publicly, Iran can't admit then they are negotiating directly. Then there is a leverage preservation. In all, particularly, Iran still control the Strait of Hormuz. If at all Iran admit and show eagerness for early talks that will weaken Iran's leverage, then there is a direct talk tricks. Iran has constantly insisted on direct talks through mediator like Qatar, Pakistan, and Oman. So technically, Iran can say we are talking to Qatar, not America, even when the outcomes is the same. And then there is a 6 billion frozen assets. Iran's president mentions release 6 billion held in Qatar. Iran wants economic relief badly because can't appear desperate for it. So the next question is who is playing smarter? The simple answer is Iran. Iran is pure diplomatic craft. Here's why. Iran is physically sending a delegation to Doha. They are showing up. But then why publicly denying direct talks? They protect themselves domestically and maintain negotiating leverage. Then they can't get the substance of talk while avoiding the optics of submission. This is a classical Persian diplomatic tradition, indirect, layered, and face saving. And then, if you see Trump, he is playing loudly, which is his style. But loudness is not diplomacy. Often sacrifice leverage for headlines. Now, if you see who is losing based on evidence, Iran is losing strategically, even if they are winning tactically. Their military infrastructure was devastated in the February strikes. These are facts. And the Strait of Hormuz issue is hurting global oil market but also their own economic battle. Then the 6 billion frozen asset situation shows that they need sanction, relief urgently. And then their regional proxy network like Hezbollah, Hamas, they have been severely weakened by Israel. And then the most important fact is Iran is negotiating from a position of military weakening while pretending they are not. And on the other hand, the US has a structural advantage. Two carrier groups are still in the region. They are military bases in Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait. And then the US still control the global dollar system. And then if you see current oil prices, they are falling. That means Trump is winning economically. So the bottom line is both sides are lying but for different reasons. Iran is lying strategically to survive politically at home. The US is lying to show off that they look dominant, and then if you see Qatar is the real winner here. They have been positioned as a continuous mediator, hosting everyone and gaining enormous geopolitical weightage, regardless of the outcomes. And in the last, US is overstating because it wants to be seen as a winning. Now, none of these are being fully truthful, but Iran depiction is more tactically sophisticated. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you.
Yeah.